have few things to discuss. First, let us discuss about customer payments. Then free text invoices as a concept. Then we'll go to sales quotation, sales orders, invoices. Okay. First, let us discuss about customer payments. So customer payment process is more like the same vendor payment process in accounts payable, but you have to create a journal for customer payments. So let's go and create a journal for the purpose of customer payment. So where can we create a journal or journal name for the purpose of customer payments, or for any purpose? Where can we create a journal name? Any idea? Of course, in general ledger and journal setup and journal names. It is here. Should remember the navigations. It's very important. So here you have to create a customer payment journal. Remember, we have created vendor payment journal earlier. We gave the journal type as vendor disbursement. To also create customer payment journal. Customer payment journal. Journal type is customer payment. We have here. Journal type is customer payment. And what else we have to give here in the journal? What is the compulsory thing that we have to fill it up when we create a journal name? As you can see marked in the red, it is a compulsory field to be filled in. So you have to create a unique voucher series for your customer payment journal. So I'll right click on this, go to view details, create a new number sequence code. Let's copy this. Give it as a company specific. Reliance. Remove. Okay. Continuous. 66 and save it. Perfect. So now we can assign the same here. So it is considered customer payment voucher series. Then everything just keeping it as default and saved this journal. Now we have one journal for customer payments in place. Now in order to make customer payments, we can go to accounts receivable. Same kind of screens. We have payments. Under payments, you have payment journal. See here, accounts receivable, payments, payment journal. Yeah, it's an empty form. You can create a new payment journal. Select the journal name which we have created, customer payment journal, as you can see here. And you can go to lines. So the line is created, as you can see here. Voucher number is considered, company name is here. Then you can take the account. So if you drop down there for the account, you will generally see the customer accounts. By default, it shows the customer accounts in the First plain. If you want to change it, I think you can change it somewhere here. Account type is by default customer. You can change it to ledger or anything else if you want to in the first field here. So here I'm selecting the customer one, DMart. Okay, the account name will reflect here in a while. And if you are settling any existing invoice of the customer, you can drop down it and select one of the invoice of the customer here. So we have this feasibility, or you can also go for settle transactions and mark multiple invoices at a time. But since we don't have any invoices posted against this customer yet, so we cannot select any invoice. So you can give a description if you want to, and you can either debit the customer or credit the customer. So when a customer is making a payment, what happens? The customer account is debited or credited. So we are receiving the money from the customer. The customer account is credited since money is moving out from him. So suppose if I say $1,000, I am crediting. So what will be the debit when you are receiving the money? It can be either cash account or bank account. So you can select cash account for the time being. It's up to you. You can select cash or bank. And method of payment, it's not necessary since it's not a bank transaction. But if you have any cash related method of payment, you can select that one as well. And I don't have a cash on delivery is something we have, right? So you can select it if you want. Okay. So on the other side, you have payment status. For cash on delivery, it should be none only. I think we did not give in any different payment status. So it is none only. Okay. So it is none only here. You can give any payment reference number if you want to. And you can also use a deposit slip if you want to. So we will see this concept in a while, how we can use a deposit slip. So actually we can generate a deposit slip. Let's say suppose I'm just enabling this option. It's not mandatory, but if you use deposit slip, it will automatically create a deposit slip and it will show up in the cash and bank management. So how that will work, I'll show you now. So if I have to use deposit slip here as we were discussing earlier, so it should be a bank transaction all the time. It cannot be a normal cash transaction. So what I'll do is I'll use the bank account only. Let's say suppose I'm using this ICICI bank account and I'm using the method of payment is cash on delivery only. I mean, customer is making a payment once, I mean, or you can say like you don't have a method of payment for now, or you can say you have a different method of payment, right? Let me see. Bank. What other method of payment we have? Check, right? So you can select the method of payment as check or post-dated check. You will select check. You can give a payment reference number here, something like 125 or anything. Check number, customer check number you can give as a payment reference. And there is no option to fill the check number anywhere. Yeah. Payment reference you have given, so check number cannot be edited, I think. So here this check number cannot be edited, this one. So here I am selecting customer account and selecting the credit as 1,000 and I'm not selecting that prepayment posting profile. You can select that prepayment posting profile somewhere here under payment. I should here normally the posting profile here it is taking is general posting profile only by default. But if you enable this option prepayment journal voucher, automatically the posting profile will change to prepayment. But if it have to change automatically here, you have to assign this posting profile under prepayments in the accounts receivable parameters. So once assigned there, when you enable this prepayment journal voucher, automatically the posting profile will change to prepayment. If not, it will remain as is, general posting profile. That's how. We'll also make a prepayment voucher. I mean, in a while. For now, I'm using general posting profile only, and I'm using bank account. Here you can see, and suppose I am receiving money in the form of check and I'll change the payment status to received. Let's assume that we have received the check and we are booking the payment entry. Now I will validate this transaction and I'll post it. I used this option, use a deposit slip. Only when I enable that, then only I can post a deposit slip. Otherwise, deposit slip cannot be posted. Normal payment transaction can be posted without any problem. So it is saying that validation is completed, journal is okay and good to be posted. So this one I am using it. It's not mandatory, but still I'm using it just to show you how a deposit slip is posted. See here, it is posted now. So let's see the voucher here. You can clearly see accounts receivable account is credited instead of customer account. Accounts receivable account is considered for credit, and behind the bank account you have a main account linked to the bank. This one 100 account. So that is being debited, which would also eventually add up amount into your bank account and also shows up some customer balance in the customer record. If you go to all customers and see the balance, you will see -1,000 because you have received some advance payment from the customer. So that's how. Then since we have used this option, use a deposit slip, we can print a deposit slip or generate a deposit slip from here. You have under functions, you have this option called deposit slip. Entirely optional, but let me tell you something. Suppose if you have received a check from the customer on this day, 22nd of December, and you have deposited the check in the bank on 23rd of December. Bank will give you some deposit slip, right? And acknowledging you that they have received your check. I mean, maybe the money will be credited in a day or two, but bank will give you at least a slip. Or whenever you deposit a cash in the bank, also bank will give you a deposit slip. You will write down the deposit slip and they'll stamp and give you a small piece of reference for the sake that they have taken your money and initiated your deposit. So in the same way, here also you can generate a deposit slip under functions. This one deposit slip option you have. It will ask you for which date you want to generate the deposit slip. I'll say I have deposited the check on 23rd of December and I'm selecting it and click on OK. So it takes a while to generate. It will print this deposit slip and after that we can check how it is there. So you can print it on the screen. Click OK. It is taking time. Here it is generating the deposit slip. It's a small acknowledgement, deposit slip number, date, payment reference it is taking, method of payment check, right? So it says that for the check number 125 that you received from the customer, and the amount is 1000. So this is when you deposited in the bank, and you can assume that this money is debited into your bank in the same date, and the account number of the bank is taken here and the bank name as well. So this is how you can export this deposit slip and keep a physical copy for reference, or you can always see this deposit slip in the cash and bank management module. I'll show you. So once generating this deposit slip, actually just duplicate this tab. So in the cash and bank management module, so you have under payment reversals, you can see deposit slips option. Earlier you see checks here. If you click on checks, it will show you the list of checks that are created and posted or cancelled. It will show here, it will show the deposit slips. Click on this deposit slips and you can see deposit slip number. It is taking the default number. You could have changed the number sequence in the cash and bank management parameters. If at all you want a unique number sequence for deposit slip, and you can see date and the voucher. You can also see the posted voucher for this. It will always show you the transaction voucher, accounts receivable credited and bank account debited. And you can also reverse this deposit slip. But in order to reverse the deposit slip, you have to again follow the same procedure like how you follow for the reversal of checks. So you have that in cash and bank management parameters, right? To use review process for check reversal, and use review process for deposit slip reversal. Here use review process for payment reversal, that is for checks, and here you have used review process for deposit slip payment cancellations. You can also enable this one, and you should create a separate journal name just for check reversals. How we created journal, you have to create a journal for bank deposit slip cancellation, and you have that journal, I mean that type has bank deposit slip reversal. You can select that, and accordingly you can reverse this deposit slip. If you come here to the deposit slips page, you can select this deposit slip and click on cancel payment. Automatically it will ask you for the journal. You can give a proper reason code and you can then proceed with the cancellation. After that, you can see that here in the review journal. You here payment reversal approvals, you see, right? Earlier when we reverse checks, we could have seen it here and we could have posted from here. Here now also you can see them here in the deposit slip payment reversal. You can select and post it. I mean the reversal, you can post it. What happens when you post it is it will entirely reverse the customer payment transaction. Whatever you have posted, the voucher will get reversed. I mean accounts receivable account will get debited this time and the bank account will get credited since money is going off once you post the reversal journal for the deposit slip. So it's an easy process for reversal of customer payments in case if you use deposit slip for every customer payment. If not, you should manually post a customer reversal payment again in the customer payment journal by debiting the customer and creating the bank account. That too happens. So this is an assignment for you. Try this just a way how you have done the check reversal. Also create a deposit slip reversal journal, and accordingly you can reverse it. It's the same procedure. Refer the notes once and try it. And if you get any doubts, come back to me and ask, and we can discuss sometime. So again, I'll go back to the payment journal on the customer payments. I'll click a new journal. I can select the customer payment journal once again. Go to lines. So here you can select another customer or the same customer. I'll select this Walmart customer. I'm receiving some amount like $1,500 from him, and I'll use my offset account as bank account. Same bank. Method of payment I'll use as check. Then I'll use payment status as received since I have received the check, and I'll give some number here as payment reference. So check number, let's say suppose. Then I'll also use deposit slip for this one as well. But here what I'll do is I'll go to payment, and here I'll use the prepayment journal voucher option. So which would change the posting profile automatically to the prepayment posting profile other than the general posting profile. So let's save this, go back, then validate the journal and let's post it. Just to show you how the other posting profile works. So it is here. Okay. Now you will post it. Here it is posted. Now we can also find the voucher for this that you have posted. The voucher is instead of accounts receivable account, you have customer advance payment accounts account in place. It is for 1500. It is credited and bank account is debited for 1500. So you have received money into your bank, but instead of accounts receivable account, since it's an advance payment and you booked it as a liability, and customer advance payments liability account is being credited here, as you can see. That's how. Then I can go back and run the deposit slip for tomorrow's date or today's date. It's up to you, or any future date if you want to. Whenever you are depositing the check in the bank, according to that date, you can run the deposit slip. So here it is. The deposit slip is generated and I can close it. You can also go to this one, cash and bank management, deposit slips option. There you can see two deposit slips now, two for the same bank. You can see number one and number two. That's how. So this is the way you make customer payments. Coming to the settlements with invoices, we'll come back to that point. Once after we create invoices, we'll come back and post it. I mean, settle the invoices. So for now, this is the procedure of how we can make a customer, how we can make customer payments, or I mean, generate the customer payments.